Hi everyone, I hope you are all having a good day. It is 10 a.m. as I start this video and I have not yet decided whether it is a good day or not. The sun was shining early this morning, but it is slowly disappearing behind the gathering clouds, and I feel like the weather. One moment I'm just fine and bright, and the next minute I want to let the water flow from my eyes along with a good rant and rave, and then, like the weather, give a loud thunderclap. Oh well. Now, we saw the shenanigans at the Polo match in Florida, and of course it's all an act for Meghan and Harry's Netflix series on professional polo. Yes, I'm calling it Meghan and Harry series because, of course, she is executive producing, starring, and effing this one up too. Just like she took over Invictus, she now appears to want to take over the Polo and Sentebale as well. I'm so sickened, so angry and irritable with this farce that I cannot even begin to tell you. Of course, the game was a fundraising event for Sentebale, but we also know that this match will make up the largest portion of the professional polo documentary. So my first question is, how much of the money Netflix will pay Harry and Meghan will actually go to Sentebale? 0 to 5%? I go for 0, 0, zilch. In my mind, I can hear Meghan say, "No way, Jose. Sentebale already received the funds collected on that day." So, in short, they are using Sentebale just like they used Invictus, both charities, to make money and for the smiling zombie to take center stage. And right now, if I wasn't 60-something and living in another country, I would have loved a cat fight and to knock those veneers all the way to Timbuktu. So why am I so irritable? I spoke to my friend the other day, yesterday, and we spoke about the price of our utilities, our rates and taxes compared to the actual municipal services we receive and the decline of our areas and respective towns. We spoke about the fraud and theft by our councillors, our municipal managers, etc., and we spoke about the overall lack of discipline and repercussions for wrongdoing, etc. And later that night, my daughter and I continued the conversation and talked about how this all starts from the top down. South Africa, for instance, had a president who, during his presidency, was charged with rape and after with every financial impropriety you can possibly imagine. In the town we just moved from, we had a similar scenario with one of the senior councillors and mayor also being charged with SA and getting away with it, then charged with fraud and theft, and then still voted back in, and still in the top position as far as I know. Well, it may have changed, I don't know, and I don't care. The point is that 99.99% of things which is morally wrong, which is irritating us or bothering us outside of blatant crime, is because the top allows it, and because we, the public, allow the top, the chosen leaders, chosen by us, to allow this shit to happen. How many times do we stop to think, I put you there, I can also take you out of there? Well, we don't, apparently, but we can. Our voices are mightier than the sword. A pen is often mightier than the sword. I heard Dan Wootton say on the Lady C recording that we can't stop calling out Harry and Meghan because if we do, we will sort of automatically validate and give our approval to everything they have done, is doing, and will likely do in the future. And although I am paraphrasing and just giving you the gist of what Dan said, I fully agree with him. Like I said so many times before, it isn't Harry and Meghan bothering me as much as it is the principle. The fact that they are blatant about their grifting, their begging, their entitled, selfish, nasty, traitorous behavior. Yet they get away with it time after time after time and time again. Examples are plenty. We hear about certain parties within the Invictus organization who are complaining about the costs they incur just to get grifter number 1 and 2 to the events, to house and to feed them. We hear about certain parties complaining about Meghan's behavior, yet no one, the media included, will stand up and say, enough, enough. This is a charity for injured veterans, not a paid holiday for the Harkles. Enough. This is not the Meghan Markle show. We want to be addressed by military leaders, by our fellow soldiers, by someone who works with, lives with, or takes care of an injured veteran every day, not a failed actress who has not had one single day of illness and true hardship in her entire life, who is using us and our families for PR and exposure. Come on! These men and women fought in wars, lost limbs, but do not dare voice their opinions out loud? I don't get it. Anyway, I now wandered away from the polo. I'm not even going to mention what Meghan wore. I personally think she looked just fine. I liked the dress, and the only fault I could find with it has to do with the designer and not Meghan. And that is namely that piece sewn on at the bottom. I've seen it done before, and I don't like it. It looks like they ran out of fabric and had to attach some other piece of fabric. Anyway, what I do want to talk about, and the entire reason why I am so ticked off today with that thing which is thrust in our faces almost every day, is indeed the fact that she has no, and I mean no, basic manners. Come on. If everyone else is too chicken shite to say it, I will. She, at 42, can't even eat properly. She stuffs her mouth full and chews like a horse. And on this day, she again pulled, pushed, and shoved her way to the front at every opportunity. And again, oh Lord, thank you, I'm old and living in another country, because all I needed would have been one shove from her and her backside would have landed in the mud faster than you could say, oh shite. Every time I see Meghan behave like this, I cannot believe my eyes, and I have to wonder where she crawled out from. I mean, yuck. Anyway, this time the person who had the honor of being pushed and pulled and placed and positioned where the Meghan wanted her was none other than Dr. Sophie Chanduka. So let me very quickly read to you who Dr. Sophie Chanduka, MBE, actually is. She is the founder and chair of Nandi Life Sciences LLC. She is a senior attorney with over 20 years of experience leading corporate finance, legal compliance, and operation functions for complex, systemically important, and highly regulated global corporations, including Meta, Morgan Stanley, and Virgin. She's also head of race equity strategy for the 30% Club, a member of the Executive Leadership Council, chair and chief strategist of the Network of Networks, chair and executive founder of the Black British Business Awards. Now based in New York City, Dr. Sophie Chanduka was born and raised in Southern Africa and through various earned scholarships was educated in Canada, the United States, and the United Kingdom. She is a Rotary International Paul Harris Fellow and has served on several non-profit boards, including Sentebale, of which she is indeed now the chairperson. Sentebale being a charity which supports children affected by HIV and AIDS in Africa. In 2021, she was honoured by Her Majesty the Queen, Queen Elizabeth II, and appointed as member of the British Empire, MBE, for her service to diversity in business. Yes, folks, this is a woman Meghan had the scuffle with on stage as she tried preventing Dr. Sophie from standing next to Harry. And the next person who boasts that Meghan was being this wonderful person who just wanted to make sure Dr. Chanduka was in the centre, I say to you, you are as thick as a plank and need to go back to school. Dr. Chanduka is the chairperson of Harry's charity, and both of them were there representing the charity, and therefore it would have been the correct thing for her to stand next to Harry. And as founder of the charity and blood royal, he was the focus of the picture for supposed his documentary. And that is why Meghan pulled Dr. Chanduka away so she can be photographed next to Harry. And don't tell me Dr. Chanduka loves Meghan. Just look at her face on the last photograph. She looks like she's smelling something really bad. Maybe Meghan forgot her deodorant or mouthwash again. Anyway, the evening before the game, Harry and Dr. Chanduka and others had a recorded fireside chat about Sentebale and Polo, etc. I guess Meghan was directing behind the camera, but never mind. How Harry can allow this behavior by Meghan to continue, I don't know. She has him out and removed from his royal life and duties, from his military appointments. She has basically taken over the Invictus show, and now she's muscling in with Sentebale and Harry's Polo more and more. She treats people like shit. She's pushy, has no manners, cannot dress or act appropriately. Goodness, Harry has to step up and tell her to behave or stay home. She is an embarrassment to herself, to him, and to her parents. I mean, keep her under wraps. Let her go sit behind a keyboard and do her American Riviera Orchard thing and sell dog food. Please, just keep her out of the public eye and away from these charities, which has actually been doing good work. And if Harry does not have the gonads to tell her to stay the heck away, can the charities themselves please do so before there is nothing left of your charity and you've been completely markled? And lastly, before I go, I see mainstream media has picked up on the same stories and gossip as I have, namely that King Charles III wants to now play mediator between William and Harry and bring Harry back into the fold. They did not say which fold, maybe the one under his armpit. I don't know. But I just know that William will be dumb, much dumber than I have ever thought, if he allows Harry and Meghan anywhere close to him, his wife, and his children. But luckily, I think William is bright, much brighter than his father or his brother. So luckily, I doubt he will fall for Harry's gaslighting. Like I said to my friend, if I was William's mother, I would advise him to stay away, step away, do whatever job he has to do, but step away from the family drama, the Charles, Meghan and Harry drama, because when it all falls apart, which it will, at least he will not be brought down along with them. Okay, guys, this was my Sunday rant. And now I'm off to go buy bread and milk and so on and so forth. So I will see you on the next one. Please take good care. Until then, bye.